Hi everyone, it's Sunday night again. Thank you so much for helping me to stay accountable. I feel like I didn't do very much this week, but then in retrospect, I did more than I thought. On Monday night, I had dinner with a dear friend and we talked for hours, and it brought me back to my poetry reading days, and I shared with him the work I'm going to be doing with this book and a couple other fiction books I'm thinking of, and it was just great to catch up. On that note, I also yesterday spent quite a bit of time delving into an application called Scrivener. And if you're not a writer, then you don't know what that is, but I'm super excited because it helps me to organize the books I'm writing in chapters and makes it a lot easier to add to the material that I already have. So I'm so excited about that. So thank you again for being my huge cheerleading squad and all the positive statements that were sent my way and all the things that were said about the poem and how you guys related to that. So today I'm going to turn it to a little different. As you know, the title of my book is Return to Your Body, a guide for healing pain and trauma and bringing conscious ease to your life. So I'm going to talk about conscious ease. Bear with me while I do this, and please give me feedback and tell me if this makes sense, because it is a phrase that I feel like I came up with. If you Google conscious ease, the only name that comes up is mine, and I will talk about how I came up with it. Some people have said I should name the title of my book that, but then other people, they don't know what it means. They feel like it's technical, so I'm not going with that for now. But inside the book, I'm going to explain conscious ease. So here's what I have written, and I would love feedback. What is conscious ease? Conscious ease is a phrase that I conceived after that first car accident in 2011. The pain was unbearable even 10 months after the accident. I had 2 doctors that were ready, willing, and waiting to perform neck surgery on me. Even my chiropractor started mentioning the word surgery. You know it's bad when your chiropractor starts talking surgery too, but I was adamant there had to be another way. I clearly remember the day I was walking around my elementary school where I taught first grade, going to pick up my students from the cafeteria. Only a few people would notice that I couldn't turn my neck very well. If you didn't notice and didn't observe carefully, you would think that everything was fine. But that's how it is with pain. No one really knows what you're going through except you and probably your physical therapist. This particular day, I was really feeling how tired I was of being in constant pain and found myself trying to will myself and my body into no pain by repeating no pain, no pain, no pain in my thoughts. It just made the most logical sense to me to say that. No pain, no pain, no pain became my mantra. At this time in my life, because I was grasping at anything that could possibly help me, I was also listening to the book The Secret on CD. And this particular day, I realized, because of the concepts in that book, I really needed to change my thinking. By thinking no pain, in essence, I was continuing to bring pain into my life because I focused on the word pain over and over again. I realized I needed to find a word other than pain to focus on, but what? Something that would be a much more positive statement and not have the word pain in it. My journey to conscious ease started with changing my thoughts. I began to look deeply at these thoughts and attempted to figure out how to change them into something positive. I asked myself, what is the opposite of pain? What did I lose by having to deal with this pain 24/7? I still, 10 months later, could not move my neck easily in a way that we all take for granted when something startles you and you just quickly turn your head. That motion was not something I could do without pain. I had an aha moment and realized that for me, I had lost my sense of ease. That one moment walking in the breezeway at my school, going to pick up my students from lunch, changed my whole way of dealing with my pain. As I delved into that more deeply, I began to realize that I was not going back to the body I had before. Too much had changed. The pain was too deep, the muscles were too tight, and that body, the one I had before the car accident, was forever gone. I go into this concept in much more detail in the chapter entitled Grieve. Suffice it to say, I realized I was going to be different. My life was going to be different. Everything was changing, and I had to figure out how to change with it. As I meditated and contemplated this new thought pattern, I realized that in order to bring myself back a sense of ease, I had to accept that my body was going to be different. Truly, it already was. I needed to acknowledge that and find a way through this daily pain. I began to realize that in order to bring ease back into my body, I had to first realize that I was currently in a state of conscious dis-ease. My body was telling me every single minute of every single day that it was in pain. I was not in a state of ease at all. I began to realize that in order to move forward to a state of ease, I needed to acknowledge the place of dis-ease that I was in. The more I contemplated this state of dis-ease, I concluded that prior to the car accident, I had been in a place of unconscious ease. I had to find a way to bring ease back into my life and body in a different way. But what did that mean? What would the new body be like? What kind of path was I on now? For me, because of my long-held holistic healing beliefs, surgery was just not an option. I was open to any and all alternatives, and I was determined to get better. My healing started with acknowledging my body just where it was. This meant I needed to acknowledge my pain just the way it was, open up to whatever that might mean. This shift has made all the difference. As I began to understand this, I saw that I was now moving to a place of conscious ease. Those words gave me hope, something to work toward, something to just be with. I began to understand that those old ways of being unconscious in my body were just not possible anymore. A new relationship with my body awaited me. I really was born into my body that day, and there was no going back. I had to move through conscious dis-ease to get to a new place in my body, to get to the place of conscious ease. I started by already telling myself that my body had the ease that I was seeking. By saying to myself, I am at ease, my body feels at ease. I began to invite in anything that would bring me ease. I began to notice the slightest bit of ease in my body, the slightest bit. This book is about helping you get to the place of conscious ease in your own body, whatever that might look like and feel like for you. In my over 30 years of universal healing, my body is the place that I'm finally coming home to, the place where we all rest, whether we like it or not. So I also in the book decided to put some definitions. So definitions: unconscious ease, a place of having ease in your body that you take for granted. You have ease, but you don't even think about it. As a matter of fact, you really don't think about your body much at all. Conscious dis-ease: now you've had trauma, an accident, an illness, a diagnosis. You are very aware, very conscious of your pain and or the changes in your body because of this trauma, accident, or illness. Conscious ease: you cannot, absolutely cannot go back to the way your body was before. This injury, this accident, this illness, this diagnosis is your body's call to consciousness. Conscious ease is a state of realizing this and being aware of your body in the present moment. I put a note here. I said, note, I believe people get stuck in the state of conscious dis-ease, trying to make their way back to unconscious ease, back to the way they were before. You have to move forward to conscious ease in order to feel better. Baby steps at a time, but you must move forward. Conscious ease begins the moment you acknowledge your body in the here and now. So as part of that, and I think I'm going to end each chapter with something called your invitation. So as part of this invitation with conscious ease, I write your invitation. Sit quietly and think about your current situation with your own body. Ask yourself some questions. What did I lose by having this happen to me? How am I letting this illness, accident, trauma, diagnosis define me? How can I change what I'm feeling in my own body into a positive statement? Do not use the word no in front of whatever you are trying to change. What is the exact opposite of the negative thought you are feeling about your situation? Use the exact opposite to make a positive statement. For example, what I am statement can I focus on instead of my pain, accident, diagnosis, trauma? As you do this, notice the subtle changes in your own body. Notice how your I am statement makes you feel in your body. And begin to notice the positive things that will come into your life once you've started changing your thinking. So that's today. What is conscious ease? I would love feedback. If it resonates with you, if it makes you think about it differently, if I explained it well enough. I kind of have a little trouble trying to explain this when I'm talking to people about it. So I really need to get that one nailed down. So basically, unconscious ease, we're in a state of ease. We don't know it. We don't even think about our body. We move from there, once we've had this major trauma or illness, we move to a state of conscious dis-ease. And dis-ease is the word for pain or something that's just not right for you and your body. And so when you're in this state of conscious dis-ease, you cannot go back to unconscious ease. You can't go back. You're conscious now. You're in this pain. It's going to change you if you let it. So you move forward to a place of conscious ease. And with that, I think that's where Jon Kabat-Zinn's work on mindfulness meets the other author's work on trauma. And when you find yourself in a place of mindfulness with your body, then you can move to a state of conscious ease. And that may not mean that you're out of pain, because I'm definitely still in pain. So these are words I need to listen to myself and see if I can help myself with this car accident as well. So here I am, 12 minutes again. Oh well. So enjoy, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.